Good evening, fifth graders. Tonight we're going to be doing some more challenging volume problems. But the excellent part about this is it's the same exact concept. Big B times the height. Big B equals area of the base times the height. So let's take a look at some problems here. All right. We're going to be going through some little bit of review. So I want you to give yourself a thumbs up or a thumbs down as we go through these things. Obviously, it's just going to be you and your Chromebook or you and your computer. But prisms are three-dimensional shapes. Do you think it's a thumbs up? Do you agree? Or a thumbs down? Prisms, remember that, rectangular prisms, what we've been working with. They're three-dimensional shapes. If you had a thumbs up, you're correct. If you had a thumbs down, I want you to listen closely. We just got done working with those three-dimensional shapes, meaning they look 3D. So prisms are rectangular prisms that have a base and they have a height to it. A rectangle is just a 2D surface. All right, a rectangular prism is formed by 8 flat surfaces. I want you to think about that rectangular prism. If you can't think of one, think of a box that you get, probably you get a pair of tennis shoes in. How many flat faces are on that box? You have 2 ends, right? And then you have a top, you have a bottom, and then you have 2 sides. Well, do you think that would be 8 flat surfaces? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Let's take a look. So thumbs down. Now, if you had a thumbs up, listen carefully. You have 2 sides to it that equal the ends. That's 1, 2. And you have a top and a bottom. That's 3, 4. And then you have the ones on the sides, which are 5, 6. There's 6 flat surfaces. That's something that you need to remember. The amount of space enclosed by a three-dimensional shape is measured in cubic units. Remember that word cubic. It's not squared units, it's cubic. That means a little 3 by it. So do you think that's a plus, or you think that's a thumbs up or a thumbs down? It's a thumbs up. Now, if you put thumbs down, you're probably thinking squared units. Like I just said, it's cubic units. The volume of a prism is the area of the base. Do you think that's a thumbs up or do you think it's a thumbs down? The area of the base. Now remember, volume equals big B times the height. It's a thumbs down. The reason why it's a thumbs down, kids, is if you think that was a thumbs up, that means you're saying the volume of a prism is just the big B. Remember, you have to multiply the height into it. Let's keep cruising here. Congruent and parallel. All of the cube structures are prisms because each is a closed three-dimensional figure made out of polygonal regions. Flat surfaces or faces each have 2 congruent and parallel faces. So that means, let's take a look at the bottom here. Take a look at the top. These 2 sides will never touch. They'll go on forever if this cube happens to go on forever. I doubt it will. But they are congruent. They are the same. So like I said, sometimes you can't see the base. Just take a look at the top. That'd be the same as the base, okay? And I wish you'd be able to hear this lovely hippopotamus, okay? But it makes a funny hippo noise. What are the 2 congruent and parallel faces called? They are called, oops, as I draw a line through them, they are called bases of the prism. Prisms are named by the shape of their base. Let's take a look. We have a triangular prism. Why? Because there's triangles and rectangles involved. Pentagonal prism. Why? Because there's pentagons on each side. Keep in mind, with these prisms, they're all connected with these rectangles. Do you see them? There's 3 rectangles here. There's one in the back, too. Remember, the bases are parallel and congruent. Right down at the bottom is a rectangular prism. Okay, all rectangles make that up. Now, back to that one problem. How do I get 6 faces? We'll take a look. There's 1 in the back here. That's 1. There's 1 here. That's 2. Switch colors for you. We have 1 on top. That's 3. 1 on the bottom. That's 4. 1 on the side. Here's 5. 1 right here. Here's 6. Take a look here. How would I find the volume of this triangular prism? Why is it a triangular prism? Because there's triangles in there. Now, the nice thing is they already found the area of the base for us. That is 15. So our big B is already found. That's 15. We're going to multiply it by the height, which is 10. 15 times 10, we all know it's 150 centimeters. We're dealing with volume, which are cubic units, centimeters cubed. This one's a little trickier. The reason why this one's a little trickier for a triangular prism is they didn't just give us the area of the base. Remember, how do you find big B? area of the base times the height. But keep in mind, we have a triangle here. So we have to multiply this by half of the base times the height. Remember that? All that practice we did with triangles? So let's take a look. Let's put this into the equation. So our base is 10 times the height is 2. So half times 20. Put 20 over 1, 20 over 2. Divide that. How many 2's go on 20? 10. So my big B now is 10. My height is 7. My answer is 70 centimeters cubed. A common error I see with this every single year is kids would get 140 for this answer. Why? Because what they'll do automatically is go, oh, area of the base, 2 times 10, boom, 20, easy. Times 7, excellent, 140. I'm done, Mr. Green, I'm done. Guess what? You're not done, because it's not done correctly, okay? So please keep this in mind when you're finding the triangular prism. All right, here we go. We have a rectangular prism here. Area of the base, what is my big B? We have 2 times 2. My big B is 2 times 2 times my height, which is 4. Do you notice that I always write this out? It's important to keep your thoughts on your paper, just so you don't make any mental mistakes. 2 times 2 is 4, times 4 gives me 16. What's my unit? Inches. 16 inches, oops, that's an M, apologize. Inches cubed. There's my answer. Next problem. Ooh, chocolate cake. I love chocolate cake. Let's take a look here. How are we going to do this? Area of the base is 5 inches squared. By seeing that, they've already done the base times the height and divided by 2. Keep that in mind. There's a difference, okay? Sometimes they'll already have it done for you. Sometimes they're going to have to do it. Since they already have that done, that means they have the big B already done for you, which is a 5. My height is a 3. So my answer is a 15 inches. We're in cubes still. Let's take a look at this irregular shape, okay? It's not a pentagon. Looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's like an interesting hexagon. Let's take a look. How are we going to do this? It's pretty easy. They already found the area of the base for us. So that means that is a 30 here for my big B. My height is an 8. 3 times 8 is 24. I got to add this 0. 240 centimeters cubed. It's that simple. It is that simple. Please don't make this more challenging than it has to be tomorrow. You should be done with your assignment in no time tomorrow. Next one. Minecraft. I have no clue what this guy's name is, but I figured some of you boys and girls would know who this is. Let's see how we're going to do this. I see all these 3's. Don't just go 3 times 3 times 3. Actually make sense of it. What is my base? My base is the shape behind here, right? Well, it's 3 times 3. My big B is 3 times 3. My height is a 3. So what do I get? 3 times 3 is 9. Times 3 is 27 inches cubed. Let's take a look at this shape. We've got a T here. So I'm just going to draw this T on the side here. This right here is worth 5. So if that's worth 5, this is worth 5. This right here is worth 7. So if that's worth 7, this is worth 7. This right here is a 6. If this is worth 6, is that worth 6? Not exactly, okay? Because we have to keep in mind this shape and this shape. That measurement and that measurement. But what we do know is this is 8. So if that's 8 and this is 6, that means this has to be a 1 and this has to be a 1, because 1 plus 6 plus 1. Now, do you see how we can solve this? You're breaking it apart, just like we were practicing before. I'm going to put this in 2 different rectangles. 5 times 8 equals a number. You're going to see this in your practice tomorrow, so I'm not going to give you the answer, but I'm just going to show you how to work it out. 6 times 7 will give you a number. These 2 numbers, when you add them up, will give you the area of the base, which is your big B. Once you have your big B, you're going to take a look at the shape. What is the height of this shape? It's 7. I'm not going to solve this problem for you because you're going to see a problem just like it, but I just wanted to show you how to work this out, because this tends to be a problem that has some questions in it during the assignment. That's how you solve it. If you ever have a shape that looks like this where it's kind of confusing, I always like to draw the base off to the side and then work it out. Once I find that area of the base, that big B, then I like to multiply it by the height. Last problem here. Some of you are going to look at a problem tomorrow and you'll be like, how am I going to find the volume of this shape? It's basic. If you just remember volume equals big B times height, take a look at the information you need. Where is my big B? Looks like they already have it done for us with all this craziness here. I'm not even going to look at how crazy the shape is because that's just going to stress me out. But if I have 13 as my big B, what's my height? 4 is my height. Boom, that's all I have to do to find my volume. Well, what's 13 times 4? 12, 4, 5. 52 centimeters cubed. Now I've labeled every single one of these problems tonight, so I'm looking forward to looking at and seeing how every single one of you are going to label correctly on your assignment in class, okay? Hopefully this helped. Look forward to working in the class tomorrow. We'll be doing some more volume of prisms.